Good afternoon. Today I'd like you to present my Max project, which is called Sound Effects Generator. As we can see, here is a patch that contains 5 sub-patches that can generate different types of sound. Initially, I had 2 ideas of which patch I should create. I was thinking about creating either a patch that can generate sounds for a menu or a patch that can generate some kind of cinematic trailer SFX sounds. But being a sound designer, I decided to combine these 2 ideas and create a patch with the most commonly used sounds so that I will be able to use them afterwards in my own works. So here we have the patch that can generate whooshes, swooshes, impacts, risers, and sub-booms. Essentially, I was inspired by Tsugi's DSP Motion. It's a plugin that I had the opportunity to explore in detail. This is a procedural tool with enhanced generator features. Since nowadays there are different sources for creating sound effects, but our task was aimed at creating an interactive audio tool, I had a choice between synthesis and a combination of synthesis and sampling with layering. I decided to go for the first option because I aimed to create a patch that wouldn't consume a significant amount of disk space, whereas the use of samples typically requires more computer memory. Okay, let's have a look at this patch. First of all, that we can see is a toggle that triggers the keyboard. Here is a keyboard. This is a key slider object, an alternative to a MIDI keyboard. So potentially we have the ability to plug this patch into a MIDI keyboard, but we can also just trigger our sounds by means of this object, and that will be working just fine. After triggering the toggle, the signal will be divided into 2 parts. The pitch of a key on the synthesizer and the velocity of key on the synthesizer. We can see how numbers are changing here. We don't hear any sound because I didn't turn on an audio output, so it's fine. I will do it later. So basically, as we all know that every synthesizer is started with an oscillator. Here we have 2 options, white and pink noise. We can choose for one of them. And after that, the signal goes to the IDSR. All the parameters are already adjusted that have their own limitations, so that wherever or however we adjust all these parameters, that will be fine. In the end, we'll still have a whoosh sound, so no worries. That's fine. After that, our signal will be filtered with either low pass or high pass or band pass or band reject filters. We have 4 options here that can be used by means of selector, and also we can adjust cutoff frequency and resonance. In the end, we have gain. This is a common thing, and basically that's it. But what about randomization? We have 7 parameters here, as it could be seen. 7 outlets. They can change our oscillators parameters, our DDSR parameters, and our filter parameters. If you are more into randomization, we also have options to apply LFO, for example, to our oscillators, to our filters, and to our gain. And finally, we have some sound effects, which are chorus, delay, and reverb. We can see they're received here, they're sent here, so it's fine. This is the main toggle that activates the patch, and this is an additional gain controller. For example, if you will be modulating our gain, it couldn't be adjusted in the moment, so you can just bring up the volume if you need it. Basically, the principle of working is the same for all sub-patches with some slight differences. For example, for impacts and risers, we also have such type of waveforms as sine, triangle, rectangle, and so, because this type of sound contains not only a noise but also a tonal component. And for example, for sub-booms, we only have 2 oscillators and only 2 filters, because obviously we do not need here high pass filters, so it's fine that we only have 2 of them. As for oscillators, this kind of simple object actually. Just L4 speed, depth, L4 signal in real time, 4 waveforms, and basically that's it. And I also have effects. I've already mentioned that. For example, reverb was built based on simple monaural reverberator, our object reverb. Delay. Here we have delay time, feedback, of course, driver controller, and the most important thing is the ability to change the delay time in accordance with the certain notes. That's good. Chorus. That was made based on our COM filter with feed-forward and feedback delay controls. This is a TIFF object. Here are these controls, which are adjusted in accordance with the help file for this TIFF object, and simple L4 that modulates this object. So, how it works? First of all, we should turn on our patch, and here's a special toggle for this purpose. We should just click it, and now we'll be able to listen to all of the sounds that can be generated within this patch. These are the examples of some basic types of sounds that I would personally can use at my projects. However, we have some parameters here that could be adjusted by anyone who would use this patch, of course, except for the 3 of parameters, which are oscillators, gain, and type of the filter. The thing is that we have LFOs that can be applied to these parameters, and for some reason I cannot change it until I turn on and off the LFO, and only after this procedure it will be possible to adjust these parameters. I don't know why it works this way here, but still. So let's have a look at our randomization parameter and what we can listen after applying it. Let's try to apply some LFOs that we have here. First of all, we'll apply it to our oscillators, and by the way, the fact that we can see how oscillators are changing here, it's not a bug, it's a feature. I mean, I made it on purpose to observe how LFO influence our oscillators, and yeah, I think it's cool. So we'll see. Now we'll try to apply gain. And now we will try to apply filter parameter. Okay. So what do we have here as well is our effects. We'll start with applying the reverb. Then we'll try to apply some delay. And finally chorus. I just randomly set up some values. Basically, this is it. Thank you for your attention, and I'll be waiting for the feedback on my work.